Eichner. Billy Eichner's connection to Disney came through his role as Timon in the 2019 live-action, photorealistic CGI remake of The Lion King. In this adaptation, Eichner worked alongside Seth Rogen, Pumbaa, to reimagine the comedic duo for a modern audience while maintaining elements of the original 1994 film's humor. The production's animation technology created realistic animal visuals, but drew criticism for limiting the characters' facial expressions, reducing emotional impact compared to the hand-drawn original. While the film was a global box office success, earning over $1.6 billion, its critical reception was mixed, with many calling it visually impressive but emotionally flat. Eichner's portrayal of Timon received some praise for injecting personality into the role, yet it did not lead to more high-profile Disney collaborations. After The Lion King, Eichner shifted focus to projects such as the romantic comedy Bros, 2022, a major studio release marketed as a groundbreaking LGBTQ+ rom-com. However, Bros performed poorly at the box office despite strong critical reviews, limiting Eichner's momentum in mainstream Hollywood and contributing to a career downturn following his Disney work. Chris Evans. Chris Evans built a defining portion of his career with Disney-owned Marvel Studios, portraying Steve Rogers' Captain America from Captain America: The First Avenger, 2011, through Avengers: Endgame, 2019. This role made him one of the MCU's central figures and one of the most recognizable actors in the world. Beyond live action, Evans lent his voice to Marvel's animated series, What If?, and starred in Pixar's Lightyear, 2022. Lightyear was positioned as an in-universe film about the real Buzz Lightyear, who inspired the toy in Toy Story, aiming to expand the Pixar brand beyond sequels. However, it grossed far below expectations, earning $226 million worldwide against a much larger budget and marketing spend. Several factors contributed to its underperformance, including confusion about its connection to Toy Story, stiff competition at the box office, and political backlash over a brief same-sex kiss scene that became a focal point in public discourse. This controversy overshadowed the film's actual story and media coverage, leading to weaker audience turnout. For Evans, Lightyear marked his first major box office disappointment after nearly a decade of Marvel dominance, signaling a more uncertain post-MCU career path. Mark Ruffalo. Mark Ruffalo became a key figure in Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe, MCU, when he took over the role of Bruce Banner, the Hulk in the Avengers, 2012, replacing Edward Norton. His performance brought a mix of intellect, vulnerability, and restrained humor to the character, which resonated with audiences. Ruffalo reprised the role in several MCU installments, including Avengers: Age of Ultron, 2015, Thor: Ragnarok, 2017, Avengers: Infinity War, 2018, Avengers: Endgame, 2019, and the Disney Plus series She-Hulk: Attorney at Law, 2022. Outside of acting, Ruffalo has been highly vocal on issues such as climate change, renewable energy advocacy, U.S. politics, and social justice causes, often sharing strong opinions on social media and at public events. While this activism has earned him praise from supporters, it has also sparked criticism from those who see his political involvement as polarizing. His most recent major Disney appearance, She-Hulk, was intended as a comedic, fourth-wall-breaking legal sitcom within the MCU. However, the show's humor, tone, and CGI quality received mixed reviews. Some fans criticized Ruffalo's public defense of the series, believing it dismissed valid criticism. While Ruffalo remains a respected actor, the lukewarm reception to She-Hulk marked one of the weaker points in his MCU tenure. Pedro Pascal. Pedro Pascal's association with Disney comes through two major projects: The Mandalorian, 2019 to present, under the Star Wars brand, and a voice role in the animated film Wish, 2023. The Mandalorian was a breakthrough for Pascal, portraying Din Djarin, a bounty hunter navigating the galaxy while protecting Grogu, popularly known as Baby Yoda. The series became a global hit for Disney+, helping to define the streaming service's early success. Pascal's Disney voice role in Wish was part of the studio's effort to celebrate its 100th anniversary with a musical fantasy film. Despite its high expectations and marketing push, Wish underperformed at the box office and drew lukewarm critical reception, with many citing weak storytelling and underdeveloped characters. Outside of acting, Pascal is outspoken on LGBTQ+ rights, immigration reform, and racial justice, frequently sharing his positions online. While his Disney television work remains strong through The Mandalorian, the commercial and critical failure of Wish added a blemish to his otherwise growing career profile. John Boyega. John Boyega rose to international fame through his role as Finn in Disney's Star Wars sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens, 2015, The Last Jedi, 2017, and The Rise of Skywalker, 2019. His casting was initially celebrated for bringing greater diversity to the Star Wars franchise. However, Boyega became openly critical of Disney and Lucasfilm, particularly for sidelining his character's arc and reducing Finn's significance after the first film. He spoke publicly about his disappointment with how race and representation were handled in the trilogy. The Rise of Skywalker, the final installment, received poor fan reception for its pacing, story choices, and perceived retcons of earlier films. After Star Wars, Boyega appeared in several smaller-scale films and television projects, but none matched the global visibility or commercial reach of his role as Finn. His candid criticism of Disney made him a respected voice for some fans, but also created tension with parts of the studio's audience and industry insiders, which may have impacted his career opportunities at the blockbuster level. Oscar Isaac. Oscar Isaac's Disney career spans both Star Wars and Marvel projects. He played Poe Dameron, a skilled resistance pilot, in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Poe was positioned as one of the trilogy's main heroes, but like Boyega's Finn, his arc was criticized for inconsistency and lack of meaningful development over the course of the films. In 2022, Isaac transitioned into the Marvel side of Disney with the Disney Plus series Moon Knight, portraying multiple personalities inhabiting the same body, including mercenary Mark Spector and mild-mannered Stephen Grant. The performance showcased his acting range and received praise, but the series itself had mixed audience reception, with some viewers citing pacing issues and a lack of strong rewatch value. Although Isaac remains in high demand as an actor, Moon Knight failed to make the same cultural impact as other Marvel shows like WandaVision or Loki, making it a more muted success within his Disney portfolio. Taika Waititi. Taika Waititi's Disney work covers both acting and directing. As a director, he revitalized the Thor franchise with Thor Ragnarok, 2017, infusing it with humor, vibrant visuals, and a lighter tone, which became a fan favorite. He returned with Thor, Love and Thunder, 2022, aiming to build on that success. However, the sequel was heavily criticized for its over-reliance on comedy, uneven tone, and underdeveloped villains. Waititi also appeared in Disney productions as the voice of IG-11 in The Mandalorian, and voiced a supporting role in Pixar's Lightyear. Beyond his film work, Waititi is an outspoken advocate for indigenous rights, LGBT+ representation, and progressive politics. While Thor, Ragnarok is considered a high point in the MCU, the backlash to Love and Thunder, paired with the underperformance of Lightyear, marked a significant downturn in his Disney track record, showing how quickly audience reception can shift for a filmmaker-actor in the blockbuster space. Don Cheadle. Don Cheadle plays James Rhodey Rhodes, also known as War Machine, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a role he took over starting with Iron Man 2 in 2010. Beyond his work in Marvel, Cheadle is an Academy Award-nominated actor with decades of experience in film and television. Outside of acting, he is known for being politically active, frequently speaking on issues such as social justice, environmental policy, and U.S. government leadership. While many praise his advocacy, his direct and uncompromising delivery in interviews and on social media has occasionally triggered strong backlash from those who disagree with his views. This divide in audience perception has led to discussions about whether an actor's political activism can influence casting decisions, audience reception, and box office performance in large-scale productions. Anthony Mackie. Anthony Mackie portrays Sam Wilson in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a character who evolved from the Falcon to the new Captain America following the events of Avengers, Endgame, and the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. His promotion to the Captain America mantle was a significant moment for Marvel, representing a shift in legacy characters. However, Mackie has faced mixed reactions due to interviews where he addressed diversity and inclusion in casting. In one widely discussed comment, he expressed concerns about Marvel's approach to hiring practices, stating that diversity should be present across the entire crew, not just on screen. While some applauded his point as a push for systemic change, others interpreted his remarks as criticism of current industry efforts, sparking polarized debates online. These discussions occasionally overshadowed his on-screen achievements and contributed to ongoing conversations about representation in Hollywood. Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin became iconic in Disney's Marvel Cinematic Universe as Thanos, the main villain across Avengers, Infinity War 2018, and Avengers Endgame 2019. While his performance was praised, Brolin's personal controversies resurfaced during this time, including past domestic violence allegations from the early 2000s. These incidents were revisited online as audiences debated the personal conduct of Disney actors. Although Brolin continues to work in Hollywood, the renewed spotlight on his history created negative press during one of the peak moments of his career, making him another example of a Disney-connected actor whose off-screen reputation sparked backlash. Idris Elba. Idris Elba played Heimdall in the Thor franchise, a supporting role within Marvel's films. His casting initially generated online controversy as some fans objected to a black actor portraying a traditionally white Norse god from the comics. This backlash ignited heated debates on representation and forced diversity in Hollywood, with Elba himself addressing the criticism directly. Although Elba remains a highly respected actor with many projects outside of Disney, the controversy highlighted how fan reactions to casting choices within Marvel can polarize audiences and impact how an actor's Disney roles are remembered. James Gunn. James Gunn's career with Disney took a dramatic turn when old tweets resurfaced in 2018. Containing offensive jokes that sparked widespread backlash. Disney quickly fired him from directing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a move that divided fans and industry voices. Some praised the decision as necessary accountability, while others argued it was an overreaction to years-old posts that Gunn had already apologized for. His firing left the future of the Guardians franchise in limbo until he was later reinstated after cast members, including Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista, publicly defended him. Although Gunn successfully returned to complete the trilogy, the controversy cemented him as one of the most high-profile examples of how political and cultural debates can affect careers tied to Disney. Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor reprised his iconic role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Disney Plus limited series Obi-Wan Kenobi, 2022. While anticipation was sky-high, the series received mixed reviews for pacing, uneven storytelling, and underwhelming action sequences compared to other Star Wars entries. Outside of the show, McGregor made headlines for his outspoken support of progressive social causes, including LGBT+ rights and political advocacy in the UK. His activism and personal statements, while praised by many, also generated criticism from detractors who labeled him another Disney star embracing woke politics. Combined with the lukewarm reception of Obi-Wan Kenobi, his Disney comeback highlighted the risks of revisiting legacy roles in a polarized media environment. Diego Luna. Diego Luna entered Disney's Star Wars universe as Cassian Andor in Rogue One, a Star Wars story, 2016. His grounded human portrayal was praised, and Disney invested further in the character with the spin-off series Andor, 2022. Although the show earned critical acclaim for its political themes, slow burn pacing, and exploration of rebellion under Empire rule, it struggled to achieve mainstream viewership compared to The Mandalorian. Luna himself is politically outspoken, frequently addressing issues such as Latin American representation in Hollywood and immigration policy. His alignment with progressive causes added to the perception of him as part of Disney's woke casting direction, and while Andor was a creative success, its limited audience impact raised questions about the commercial sustainability of such projects. Gael Garcia Bernal. Gael Garcia Bernal starred in Disney's Marvel Halloween special Werewolf by Night, 2022, playing Jack Russell, a monster hunter cursed with lycanthropy. The project was praised for its black and white horror aesthetic and practical effects, but as a one-off special, it failed to generate the same cultural buzz or lasting impact as Marvel's mainline films and shows. Outside of acting, Bernal is well known for his political activism, particularly on human rights and Latin American social issues. His outspoken advocacy, combined with his role in one of Marvel's more experimental and commercially muted projects, positioned him as another Disney-connected star whose career trajectory was affected by both divisive audience reactions and the studio's gamble on less conventional storytelling. Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf began his entertainment career in the early 2000s through Disney Channel, most notably in the sitcom Even Stevens, 2000 to 2003. In this role, he played Louis Stevens, a mischievous but lovable troublemaker, a performance that earned him a Daytime Emmy Award. This exposure made him a well-known face to young audiences and opened the door to major film roles. His first significant Disney film appearance was in Holes, 2003, an adaptation of Louis Sechar's novel. The film, a mix of mystery, adventure, and coming-of-age drama, was praised for staying true to its source material and further cemented LaBeouf's standing as a versatile young actor. After Disney, LaBeouf transitioned into large-scale Hollywood productions like Transformers, 2007 to 2011, and Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, 2008. However, in the 2010s, His career became overshadowed by a series of public controversies, including multiple arrests, erratic behavior, and legal disputes. Allegations of abuse from former partners further damaged his public image. These controversies, combined with a shift toward independent and experimental film work, caused his mainstream career momentum to stall, making it one of the more dramatic declines for a former Disney star. If you want to keep exploring the hidden stories, controversies, and behind-the-scenes truths about the stars and worlds of Disney, check out our other deep dives.